introduce yourself?
Hi. Dr. Dooley, Principal, Innovation High School.
How are you today?
I'm pretty good.
That's great. How was your day so far?
Well, it's the end of the day, so the end of the day is always an interesting time. Could be tired, but also feel pretty satisfied
That's fine.
and ready to go home sometimes.
Okay. Last week was Thanksgiving. I know that's a little bit old, but we like to eat. So, how was your Thanksgiving so far?
Thanksgiving is an interesting holiday for me and my family because we're all vegetarian or vegan.
Oh,
So what many people focus on, we don't necessarily focus on. But it was good. Family
great.
time together with family is always nice.
That's great. What was your favorite dish
Favorite dish?
on the day?
Stuffing.
Okay.
Stuffing's my favorite.
Since we went straight to family. Some of us would like to know if you are married.
I am married. I don't wear a wedding ring, so it might be confusing for some.
Yeah.
Because my wife is actually allergic to many of the metals that wedding rings are made out of. So because she doesn't wear a wedding ring, neither do I.
Oh, do you have any children?
I do. Quite a few. 8.
I was expecting to say like 4, 3.
No. We have 8 children, 6 biological, 2 adopted.
Okay, that's nice. Wait, all of them in high school level as us, or?
No, my
still
oldest
younger?
is 24.
Okay.
I have a 23-year-old, 2 21-year-olds. I might have missed one. A 22-year-old, 17, 15, and 12. I think that's 8.
Oh, so you have all range of kids from
Yeah,
older.
we like to kind of joke and say we have 2 families. We have like the older 5 kids and then the younger 3 kids.
Oh, okay, I see. Like back in the days of your high school, did you do like any sports?
I did.
What did you do?
Growing up, I grew up in Jersey City. I played all kinds of sports. Little League baseball, basketball. I ran track and cross country. In high school, for my school, I just focused on cross country and track and field.
Okay. Did you ever wait? So your sport mainly was track?
That's the only sport I did for my school. I went to St. Peter's Prep.
Did you ever thought like of thinking what's it called, track as like a career, or it never came across?
Track and field is a tough career. You have to be like better than the top 1% of all people who have ever participated in track, just like most sports. So it's hard to make a career out of it. And you also have to be good, and I wasn't very good.
That's fine. Did you have like any changing, like, do you ever thought when you became a vice principal or principal, did you ever think like a moment came and like maybe being a principal is not my part, or like not my job?
I don't think so. I definitely think that the teacher's job is harder than my job. So I would never want to go back to teaching.
You just never felt it's for you teaching? That's why you became?
Teaching is really challenging, and it takes a lot of preparation in order to make it work in the classroom. And my job is a little bit easier in the sense that my preparation happens over the summer, and then most of what I do throughout the year is more just organization, management, a little bit more planning, but it's more about dealing with the day-to-day operations.
Oh, okay.
And I find that in my experience, my opinion, I would choose to stay in my leadership role than to be a classroom teacher.
Okay, that's fine. Do you not gonna lie, I have noticed when I was coming out of mock trial or anime club, I noticed that you had like sleeve tattoos.
Mm-hmm.
Some of us saw it and it's like, Pretty sure that's not our principal. So we just want to know, like, what inspired you, like, to get your first tattoo, and if you like have a favorite tattoo or like the one that you most like.
I don't think I have a favorite. I think when you get a little bit older and you have tattoos, you're kind of not thinking about them much anymore and not thinking about getting any more.
Wait, when did you have your first tattoo?
I mean, probably when I was 18.
Okay.
And when I started to get tattoos, it wasn't quite as popular. And I can remember the first tattoo that I got that showed, meaning it wasn't like under a shirt or something, it was on my forearm. It didn't go over well with my parents.
How did your parents react to it?
They weren't happy about it.
Oh my god.
I'll just say that.
So
But they're from a different generation where, I mean, tattoos weren't as much of an expression or common as they are now. And they were affiliated more with different lifestyles.
Mm-hmm. So your parents didn't take it easily when you decided to come home? It's like, Mom, Dad, I have a tattoo.
Yeah, no.
No?
But then, my mom has a tattoo now too, so
You got her on
I
tattoos?
was a trailblazer.
Do you have a matching tattoo with your mom?
No.
Or no?
I do have a tattoo that says mom.
Oh, I thought you would have
Every
a
good
matching
son
one.
has to have a tattoo that says mom.
When was the last tattoo that you had?
I don't know.
Like what year?
The problem with tattoos for me is that I always had a friend or friends that were kind of in the business as
Okay.
tattoo artists,
Mm-hmm.
which opened up the opportunity to get, free tattoos. And if you can get a free tattoo, then you wind up with a lot of tattoos. So I can't say when the last one was, but it's definitely been a couple of years.
Oh, okay. So there is a great question that came from our forums, and it says, so is it true your commute to and from work is around 3 hours a day? Being that you work over 200 days a year, what do you do in a car for over 600 hours?
Wow.
Like, what do you listen to?
So it's not true. I do have a little bit of a commute. My commute is about 50 miles each way. So depending on the traffic and the time of day, it could be coming in the morning. I come in early enough that there's not really much traffic. So it's like an
Okay.
hour coming in. I listen to the news. I don't really listen to podcasts. I'll listen to music.
You don't even listen to your school's podcast?
Well, I mean, I could watch our
Okay.
podcast on Instagram.
Okay.
when you guys produce something, but going home is a little bit longer. There's always more traffic because of the time that I leave, so lately it's been taking me maybe an hour and 20 minutes, hour and 30 minutes to get home, but it's the same thing. News, music.
Do you have a favorite kind of genre to listen to?
Anything that moves me.
What type of music though?
It depends. Depends on sometimes a song that, was really in my head that I was really enjoying, or an artist or a genre.
Mm-hmm.
Last week, fades away and something new pops in. So right now I'm listening to a lot of more folky music where it's just an artist and a guitar in a particular style called finger picking, where they're not using a pick, they're just kind of using their fingers to play the chords.
Okay.
And the songs are a little bit basic, simple.
That's fine. Do you have a challenging part or like a favorite part of being principal? Like, have you ever find anything challenging to you as a principal? Even if when you started being a principal or now?
Well, coming to innovation, I came from another school, but I transitioned from vice principal assigned to innovation to principal of innovation. And I had a pretty good amount of years as a vice principal before becoming principal of innovation. And even throughout that time, I might have had a couple of stints where I was acting principal. So you draw on a lot of experience when you're a principal. You've kind of seen or done many of the things that you're asked to do or required to do. So there's usually not a lot of surprises over the years, but there's definitely been some challenging days where you're kind of running around, putting out fires one after the other. And those days don't make me want to, not come back here or anything like that. It's just another day.
Okay, so we're having our game day, like Spirit Week,
Yeah.
coming up. And of course, after the end of our Spirit Week, we have games it's like students versus teachers. So they're saying there's like a little cutie
Oh,
patootie
no.
rumor going on that you kind of approved to get duct taped to the wall and maybe getting pied. Would you like to
did.
talk about that?
I'm a good sport. I think it could be fun. I'm very uncomfortable with being duct taped or the idea of being duct taped to the wall. I can see everything that can go wrong before it goes wrong.
Oh my God.
And I definitely don't want to land on my face without being able to put my hands out in front of me. And the pieing part will be fine. I've been pied before here.
Yeah, we remember
And,
it.
if we can raise some money and have some fun, then it'll be worth it.
But they said it's going to be fun if we can get you to be duct taped.
Well, there's a minimum, so I set a minimum amount of money to be raised.
How much you're thinking?
I'm not going to say up front. You
Like-
never give that amount in advance.
Oh man, I'm kind of looking forward if you do approve it.
I mean, it's approved. You guys just have to come up with the money to make it happen.
So it's approved. We just have to see, like, do we have a limit that we can raise to?
Like a top limit?
Yeah.
No, keep raising money.
Okay.
Usually those things are what, $1 for like an arm's length worth of tape or something like that.
Okay.
And how many pieces of tape will it take to stick me to the wall?
That's all I have to say. Okay, so going back to our seniors and freshmen. Let's start with our seniors since they're leaving us soon. Do you have like any advice for them when they leave?
I always enjoy graduation
Also,
because I think you get to see, the culmination of the community's hard work. So, it's hard for the teachers, it's hard for students, and to see, everybody come together and celebrate everybody, the student success and them moving on is always a good feeling for me. But I would. There's a story that's attributed to John Lennon. Do you know who John Lennon is?
not really.
No.
I think I heard the name before.
He was one of the Beatles, musician.
I don't know why, but the first thing's like that one thing is like I don't know if I can say it. Like it's
Don't say it. John Lennon
about
was a
John
Beatle,
Lennon.
and he was a tremendous musician, artist, activist, and although the story may not be true, there's a story attributed to him where maybe in an interview or something when he was older, he said that when he was 5 years old and he went to school, the teacher asked the whole class, "What do you want to be when you grow up?"
Mm-hmm.
And most kids, they have an answer. I want to be a doctor. I want to be a lawyer. I want to be this. I want to be that. And he answered the teacher with, "I want to be happy." And the teacher looked at him and said, I think you're confused. I don't think you understand the assignment.
Mm-hmm.
And 5-year-old John Lennon said, "You've misunderstood life." So my advice is that it doesn't matter what you do in life, but when you leave Innovation High School and you start to kind of chart your own course, it really should be geared towards things that make you happy.
That's for our seniors. What about our freshmen? They're coming, new kids, new faces to our building. What do you think a great advice would be for them moving on to high school?
Wear their uniforms.
But
That's it.
they're still getting used to
Nope.
the uniform.
That's it. Wear your uniform, and everything else will fall into place.
Oh, I guess y'all heard it here. Just wear your uniform. Do you have, since we're talking about advice, I wanted to see if you had advice for me as your student and you are as your principal to me.
Different from my great quote from John Lennon. Let me try and think of another quote.
Whatever comes on top of your head.
Okay. So I've been listening to a song called Society, and it's by Eddie Vedder, who's the lead singer of Pearl Jam. He did the soundtrack for a movie called Into the Wild, and it was about a young man who graduated from college and was kind of a little bit uninterested in going from college into the workforce and, taking that expected route that you're supposed to take. And he wound up traveling across the country, and what they call them super tramps, people who like jump on the trains and jump off the train from town to town and just like live kind of a free life, reading and writing and listening to music. And he wound up in Alaska on an abandoned bus and wound up getting trapped there. And I won't ruin the story. You can watch the movie or read the book. But the song Society is about how the human condition is geared towards the idea that we always want more than what we need. But when you want more than what you need, you'll never be free.
Wise words. Okay, back to great questions. I wanted to ask this. It just came on top of my head. I'm pretty sure everybody would like to ask about this. Why did you approve on a 10-minute rule before and after class ends and starts?
It's not, I won't take credit for it. It's not something that is uncommon from school to school, especially in the high schools. So we did it in my previous high school. And it's just a way for us to try and take away some of the distractions that might be there. So we have shorter passing time because we want to have more instructional time. And the 10-minute rule is just there as another way for us to try and ensure that you're in class learning.
We can't.
Because if you leave the beginning of every sixth period after lunch to use the restroom instead of using it during lunch, then you add those minutes up throughout the year. And by the end of the year, just like the math where I am in the car for 600 hours commuting during the year, some students could be in the bathroom for 600 hours during the year.
Oh my God. Yeah, some
and
of us.
We want you in the classroom.
Some of us just stay in the bathroom. But yeah.
I can print a report about that.
You have much time to print a whole report?
Just one click.
Per student or?
Sure.
Yeah, I'm giving ideas here.
E-Hall Pass.
Wait, when did E-Hall Pass get introduced to us? When you came?
We started using it, 2 or 3 years ago only?
2-3 years ago?
Yeah, that's it.
I thought it came like with the start of the school.
No.
Okay. Pretty sure I'm wrapped up here.
Okay.
Thank you guys for coming in and listening to us. And thank you for coming and having the time. I know
You're
a busy
welcome.
man.
I'm happy to be here.